Hello, fall semester students. This is Dr. Moore, and what I'm going to do by YouTube this evening is introduce you to the Nursing 3580 Health and Gerontology class, go over the syllabus really quickly here, and then we'll go over the schedule and also the case study assignments, which I think will be really fun. As you know, we changed our curriculum recently, and the order of when gerontology is offered was changed from first semester to third semester. I remember many of you guys from 2 semesters ago when I had several of you in Basic Skills Lab. I am glad to have my favorite course back in motion, and that is Nursing 3580, now it's called, Health and Gerontology. I've been teaching it online in the RN to BSN program all summer, spring, and last fall while it was on hold in the ground program, and I'm glad to have you guys face to face again. I am sorry that I cannot be there this week, Friday, but if you have any questions about the syllabus and what I'm going to go over this evening, let me know. Email me or hold your questions until September 8th. This course is designed really to, as you see here, the course description, really talk mostly about the normal aging process and then some of the other perspectives of aging. And we want to age in a healthy way. In your med-surg courses, you will talk about disease, mostly chronic disease, and not so acute. Well, a lot of your med-surg will be acute, and then in critical care, you'll do critical illnesses and events. We hopefully will parallel this course with the med-surg course, and I hope it will augment what you see in clinical and what you learn in the med-surg course. I'm trying to keep as much in line with Dr. Cooper's and Dr. Salmon's agenda and schedule as much as I can to not duplicate but augment what you're learning and maybe help you understand some of the concepts that you don't get to go over very much time in med-surg. We don't want to duplicate, we want to augment. And there is a science, a whole new science I might add to gerontology that's way different than it used to be. We used to take care, or I used to take care of many elderly patients, and I realize now, having studied gerontology for several years, that we have been doing a lot of things wrong in the hospital setting. And as we talk about some of the principles during our sections, I will try to give you some stories of why I say that. Okay, you know it's 3 credit hours, and I want to make it fun. As I said, I love gerontology. I hope you do too. I realize Friday afternoon is a tough time to have a class, especially after your rigorous week, but we'll do our best to make it fun. Attendance is expected. It's helpful for you to attend. You'll do better that way. Your textbook is required. I ask that you not be text messaging and looking at the internet and so forth when you're in class, but if you want to use a computer or an iPad or something to take notes along, following along with our PowerPoints, I do not mind that at all. We're not allowed to have visitors. Bring your text to class because I'll refer to it often. Be courteous to each other. Try not to be late, but if you are, maybe sneak in quietly and sit in the back or the side wherever you can find a spot. If you want to record the session, please let me know that you're going to do that. Somebody already asked about that, and actually that is fine, but I'd like to know kind of who is and who isn't. Of course, we want to be honest and not cheat on exams and assignments, but the group assignment is just meant to be that, a group assignment. So obviously it's meant to be group work, and that is not cheating by any means. If you have any doubt about what is academic misconduct or academic dishonesty, let me know. I think you probably pretty much know that. Our course room will be N119. I think you have probably a lot of classes in there. And the time is going to be, where is it? The time is going to be Friday afternoons, 12:15 to 3:30. I have that here somewhere. There's my phone number, but I have that actually transferred to my, or forwarded to my cell phone. So anytime you call that office number, you'll get me on my cell phone, which I'm on all the time. I get my email and everything via that way. If you want to email me about anything non-course related, there's my MTSU email, but anything course related, please email me here within D2L, because then everything course related will stay in the courses. So the breakdown on the grades is largely comprised of exams, but the case study assignment will be worth 50 points. So that's a pretty good chunk there. I've done other kinds of group projects and presentations for grades in other Gero courses. I have not used this specific case study format yet because it was kind of a little bit higher level than I felt like the first semester students were at a year or so ago. You guys, I think, are right at this level, and I think it will be really rich learning. And anything that you might cover in a PowerPoint, in your group presentation, I might spend less time on in the classroom going over my lectures, although we will briefly always review the main concepts. The final exam, as you know, will be optional, and we'll talk about that in a minute. Optional to an extent, okay? There are 4 module exams, and the final exam is weighted exactly like each of the 4 module exams. The module exams are based on chapters that are designated each time, and you'll know that it's very clear on the schedule. But the final exam will be comprehensive and cumulative, meaning testing on all the material throughout the semester. So it's a point breakdown. There's a total of 375 points. So however many points you get out of that will be your final grade. The grading scale has eased up a little bit this semester, which is really nice. So 93 to 100 is an A, 86 to 92 a B, 80 to 85 is a C, and so on. And you know you need to get a C or better in each nursing course. We do employ rounding techniques, but only at the end of the semester for the final grade, and only if it's going to change your letter grade. So if you get a 92.5 or higher as a final grade, that will round up to a 93, which would be an A. And the same for all these others, 85.5, 79.5, and so on. So that can come in helpful at the very end, but it's the only rounding that we will do. Okay. If you need help, make an appointment with me and I'd be happy to meet with you, especially if you get less than a C on any exam. Don't expect that you would get less than a C on a group project, and because you'll see why. You'll be working together. And there's actually a lot of leeway in the group project, and I want you to be creative. Okay, exams. This is the same exam policy as you've probably seen in all the other courses. You are expected to take all the unit exams because there are no makeup exams. However, if you do miss an exam, you can only miss one, and then you would have to take the final exam. You would have to take the final exam because that final exam score would replace the one exam that you missed. Students who take all unit exams and have an overall course average of at least 80% may choose not to take the final exam. And on the last day of class, you'll have to tell me whether you're taking the final exam or not. So I'll collect a list of signatures on people that are opting in for the final exam. The reason for that is because at that point, most of you will not be choosing to take it if you have attended all your other exams and if you have a a course average of 80 or higher. Because people get stressed out with final exams, you're busy and tired by then, and also the final exam grade, if you choose to take it, will be calculated into your final course grade no matter what, even if it lowers your final course grade as a result. Let's see what else. If you're late for a scheduled exam, you'll just get the same amount of time that you would have had if you had been on time, because I can't prolong the test just because somebody came in late. We've got to move on. We'll have lecture time after each exam. There are rules for testing. We will be doing ExamSoft in the computer lab. I'm sure you've done that last semester. It'll be my first time using it, but I love everything electronics, so I'm really looking forward to it. I'll have another proctor with me during each exam. There'll be no cell phones, no earbuds, no hoodies, no watches, none of that. No food or drink allowed in the exam, in the lab, computer lab. Take a bathroom break before the exam because I won't be able to let you leave the room during the exam. You can't ask questions about the exam. I'm not allowed to answer those. And at the end of your exam, as you know, you will raise your hand, show me that you finished and uploaded your exam, got the final check mark, and if you have a scrap paper that you've used, well, everybody will have to turn in the piece of scrap paper that you've been allowed to use during the exam. We are not going to have math questions on our exams in Gero, so I really don't expect you to be needing a scrap paper, but just in case you do, then I'll collect it when you finish your exam. More stuff on academic misconduct. We take that very seriously. If you have any question about what it is, what it constitutes academic misconduct and what doesn't, ask me. There's information about the Tennessee Education Lottery Scholarship. Anyone that needs reasonable accommodation for testing and so forth can go through the Disability Access Center and engage that process. And you would then most likely be taking your exam over in the DAC center and might need to come in a little early, say like 7 a.m. if you need extra time for an exam. The textbook is great. I love it. I read it every time you do. I learn something new every time I read it. There's a lot in it. I don't expect you to know every single word, but you will enjoy reading it and you'll enjoy the information that you pick up in that textbook. There are 5 modules in the course, in the textbook. However, I will be splitting up the chapters. And why is that? That's because I'm trying to most closely as practical align with Dr. Cooper's schedule, so to make it more sensible and easier for you guys. So I won't be going in exact chronological order as the textbook, but it will be similar, okay? And when I go over the schedule here in a minute, I'll show you that. The assignment is the group case study project, and we'll be going over that in a separate video. Sorry for the long-windedness, but I really wanted to go over this thoroughly for you, especially since I'll be missing you the next Friday. And the next YouTube, we'll go over the schedule.